Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. I had a friend drop by last night and he left off a tractor, a free tractor. And you know, Harvey likes that kind. The story on it was it belonged to a relative of his who passed on, so he kind of inherited it. And he really didn't need it. His yard isn't that big, but he took it and used it for a period of time, and more recently it wouldn't start for him, so he whenever he has that happen, he just brings the stuff over to my place and drops it off. He figures I'll use it or scrap it or whatever I'm going to do with it, and he no longer has to deal with it. So, that little plaque says everything. 20 horsepower Tecumseh, 42-inch cut, 6-speed transmission, yard machines by MTD. This is one of those, if you really get it on sale, $7.99, $8.99 tractors, Home Depot, Lowe's, box store type tractor. And he said what he's been doing with it is he's been jump starting the battery from his truck, which makes sense because if you see that the battery is over 10 years old now, 12, 13 years old. That's the little plate on it. The other one's missing for some reason, but that's the one that's on it. Anyway, from a cosmetic point of view, she's beautiful. The tires all seem to hold air. The only thing it's missing is the little flipper thing for cutting the grass. I haven't messed with the deck, though. This is kind of interesting. I'm not sure what that is. But it looks like it's in decent shape. That's the engine. I don't know if anybody knows anything about it. I know Tecumseh's, whenever I talk about Tecumseh engines, some people, I say, well, Tecumseh's out of business, and some people say, no, they're still in business. I see a lot of, not Craigslist stuff, eBay stuff, and I'm not seeing any new Tecumseh engines on any of the searches I do. Most of the time I see the Predator clones, I see Honda, I see Briggs, but I don't see Tecumseh stuff. So, though they might be manufacturing something in that plant, in their plant, somebody bought up all their assets, and though they might even be making some of the engines I'm seeing, they don't seem to say Tecumseh on them any longer. If somebody could correct me and direct me to some place I could get more information, I'd appreciate it. Anyway, whenever I get something like this, just a quick troubleshooting, it won't start, he says, and he had his jumper cables on there. He said it wouldn't start. Dead. He indicated something about some mice also. So, could be wiring, could be interlock, could be the starter died, could be the engines seized. So, normally the first thing I do is, and it looks like I'm able to get it through all its strokes without hearing any banging. So the engine doesn't appear to be seized. Given that the engine's not seized and I'm going to try to make it go around, the second thing I did was check the oil, and it's full. And I have to be honest with you, I had to top it off. It wasn't full when I started. I'm hoping that it starts, and to that end, right? I don't want to start an engine that's low on oil. Okay, I haven't started this thing, right? It's ice cold. Well, from sitting in the sun, however ice cold one could be. So I got that far. The next thing I want to do is verify what he said, and that's easy enough to do, right? Smash the jump pack on here, right? 1, 2, make sure the jump pack is turned on. He says the interlocks are all bypassed, but you never know. One of them could have come back to life. I mean, normally they definitely have one on the deck. Well, I'm not sure what's going on with the transmission here, but now, so he's right, doesn't do anything. So the next thing I tend to do, and notice I turned the jump pack off. Old one-handed Harvey, right? So one there, key switch to on, and put the second one on here. This one also has some issues with the cables, i.e. they don't seem to do anything. So I don't know which way is choke. I'm gonna guess that's choke, and I think I can kind of pull on the cable and get it to do things. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pull on the cable, and I'm gonna see if the starter turns. Oh, that's a good sign. I like that. Now let's see if it moves. Well, the good news is it moves. You know what's next after that? We got to see if the blades work. Sounds like the blades work. Looks like Harvey got himself a nice free tractor. I mean, that's nice. I'm going to have to get back in touch with my buddy and tell him, hey, I got it started, running, drove it, cuts grass. What do you want to do? Do you want it back, or do you want it gone. I'm not sure. What am I going to do with it? I gotta be honest with you. I'm not sure. Those of you who say, "Oh, wow, turn it into a racing tractor," this is one of those that has the variable pitch pulley on the back for speed control. So it doesn't make a very good off-road tractor. I mean, unless I change the rear end out and, you know, put the gear shift handle here. So that's not going to work. Boy, the blade looks nice. That looks good. Anyway, I got a nice tractor. Anyway, folks, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and get out there and enjoy all your days. You never know when you're going to look on your driveway and find a free tractor looking right back at you. Bye now, folks.